Okay, so what movie would you want to talk about?
Star Wars. Start with Star Wars. As much as I like what I said about the Marvel stuff, we could always bring that up later because we already touched on it. It's not as fresh.
Uh-huh.
I think Star Wars would be a good one.
Okay. So is there a subject within Star Wars that you want to talk about, or just talk about Star Wars in general?
Let's just talk about Star Wars. I guess we could talk about let's talk about the new ones, like
Okay.
sequel.
I'm kind of just jumping straight to the end here. I really like the hint that Rey is using a yellow kyber crystal.
Oh wait. We haven't started yet.
Okay.
I haven't started the thing yet. I'm still getting everything ready. Sorry.
Okay, well that's okay. We got a starting subject. This just in. I'm toasted.
This just in. I am fucked up. You could say I'm screwed every which way from Sunday.
Woo! That's spicy.
Back to you, Becky. All right, so we should be live. Oh, let me fix it.
Hello.
So we're doing our first podcast. Something I always wanted to do for NPM. This is Fettbub here,
and SuperLute 14.
Yeah, I'm joined by Steven SuperLute, one of the founders of this glorious experiment. But we decided to get and we were talking about various movies when I thought, you know what, this would make great. It's a great podcast thing. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. And what better time to start than now? So we're just going to be playing some 7 days, talking some stuff, see how far it goes. Should be just about an hour or so, but chat's open. No one seems to be watching at this time, but feel free to, talk to us in that. I'll be stopping every once in a while to see if there's a question. And we'll go. And Steven, I think you had an idea you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, okay, so we were talking about what movies we wanted to pick, and we decided on Star Wars, and we're talking about the within the third movie trilogy, within the sequel trilogy as it's called, with Rey and everything. So I have a subject matter I kind of wanted to just jump straight to, and it's kind of towards the end. So it's by kind of towards the end, I mean at the end of the 9th movie. So spoiler alert if you didn't already know that. So it's a yellow blade, which to me would indicate that the kyber crystal refracting is a yellow kyber crystal, and it fits her role as more of a neutral player. She's not a Jedi, she's more of a gray Jedi at this point, because not only has she demonstrated dark side powers quite easily, actually, she also has demonstrated very effective light powers too, which would mean that her I can't think of that. Her yin and yang are balanced essentially at this point in time, putting her square in the middle, yellow. So I really feel like that color and the fact that it's based either, I feel like it's in her staff, but that would be a little unwieldy. So I think it's a lightsaber built from the end of her staff. Because I think that would make a really great lightsaber casing anyway. It's very elegant.
And concealed.
Very much so. It would look like a freaking bow staff. Instead, it's like, okay, then lightsaber blade.
Well, I mean, you could use it both as when when Darth Maul had his saber out in Phantom Menace, the first part, when he's just got one end ignited and just looks like he's got like a staff.
And then he ignites the other end.
Yeah, but like how he's just fighting with it like a staff, you know what I mean? Or a lance. She could fight with it like that and then also remove the end whenever she wants to have more just a handheld. That's a good point there. But something I was thinking though, like you brought up the yellow crystal and the whole not Jedi Sentinel. I can't remember what the yellow one is. Let me see here if I can find it. Jedi crystal. I guess it should just say saber.
Oh wow, I like how this is actually working. I'm happy. It seemed to have. What? It seems that they've worked on the connectivity issues, and I'm actually connecting better. Remember how it used to take forever to get the frickin' domain and IP shit loaded in?
Mm-hmm.
It's actually connecting to your world now. Anyway, let's get back to the subject at hand. So, the yellow kyber crystal.
Mm-hmm.
And the connection to Darth Maul. Yeah, that bit.
So that whole thing that we were just talking about, like her saber itself, and how kind of cool it was, but
yeah.
What I was getting at is that her having the yellow lightsaber being maybe more connected to the Force, that makes sense. And you use the term gray Jedi, which a lot of people think it means that the Jedi is both light and dark. But what it actually means is that they're a Jedi that follows the Force primarily.
Oh,
good comparison is let's say the Jedi is the Catholic Church.
Uh-huh.
And a gray Jedi would be someone who just reads the Bible every day and follows, the commandments and, Jesus teaching, stuff like that. That's the guy that becomes a homeless, kind of goes on his own kind of homeless journey and helps people and, teaches themselves. They're not a part of this institution that does what's in the favor eventually of the institution.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Instead of being this institution that cares more about the institution than the actual force being an analogy for God. That was a big part of that too. The Jedi were kind of an allegory for the Catholic Church.
Oh.
Yeah. But a gray Jedi is what Qui-Gon was. Qui-Gon didn't necessarily give a shit about what the Jedi Council said. He was even a master who was offered several times to be on the council because they knew he was right a lot and he had a lot of good. He was a great Jedi master, but he never did because he served, as he always said, I serve the living Force. I follow the living Force. That's what he cared about. That's what makes you a great Jedi. But great Jedi do have a better tendency, like Luke, to be able to utilize or even better understand and kind of cope with the dark side. So I mean, there's a connection too, but being a gray Jedi doesn't so much being both light and dark. It just means being in tune with the living Force. And I would say Rey, based off of how they explained her character up until the third one,
right?
I was led to believe that Rey was kind of like Anakin. Like a virgins in the Force, almost like a Force conduit. And that would make sense then to have that yellow lightsaber, with what you're talking about. Because I believe yellow was the people who did a lot of... There were more... Let me see. Let me put this... No, I want this... the Jedi Sentinel... Oh, they are a Sentinel. I thought green was a Sentinel.
No, green is like the knight.
The counselor.
Green's the counselor. Blue's the knight. Then
Blue's a guardian. Actually, purple is actually one of people who are like Mace Windu, who utilize the dark side more as a like in combat, almost to where they're almost like a dark Jedi. Mace Windu kind of said that he used the dark side in his combat. But one other thing you were talking about too, Ahsoka Tano, actually, as I look at it, who has a white saber. She's not only also, I would say, a follower of the living Force, but she also is someone who doesn't have an allegiance to the light or the dark. that's the other thing too that makes you, I think, a great Jedi, which is where Rey comes in. They don't have allegiance to the light or the dark, and that's what I think makes too. They still kept the fact that Luke was a great Jedi. He still cared more about the Force. They even had a good scene in The Last Jedi that they cut, where he teaches Rey a lesson about the living Force, where you try to not interfere with nature. That's the other thing too with the Jedi in the prequels is they were kind of an allegory too for like man's, our institutions and our corporations, we try to control nature, but we don't. You know what I mean? We try to fix the environment. We try to conquer nature and build houses and kick out the bears and the lions and the crocodiles, but we can't in the end. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's where too a Grey Jedi is kind of like a Force hippie. Like, I follow the Force only, man. I don't care about the light and the dark. So Ahsoka Tano's, like a Force hippie. I mean,
honestly,
come on,
it's
Qui-Gon Jinn's definitely a Force hippie.
Yeah. Liam Neeson did that really well, ladies and gentlemen.
But actually, and this is where too, I guess you could say that they do, and this is where I say that a lot of Grey, the yellow too, is actually a lot more too, like you described, where they're typically a bit more dark side leaning. The Jedi Sentinel, known for getting their hands dirty, doing undercover work, and employing special tech to go with their Force abilities. They also were a bit more violent. They were like, the yellow was kind of like the Jedi Council's like Black Ops division.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Now, and that's of course from Legends, so it's technically not canon. Technically, in the canon, it was just mostly the temple
temple guards and stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh. So it's more representative of her where she would be within the order itself, rather than where she is as a middle of the road Jedi.
Yeah, it fits with her being a middle of the road Jedi and the fact that she's a Jedi. It's like a dark side leaning Jedi rather than a light side leaning Sith. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Purple's kind of that way too, but purple is strictly that when it comes to combat, where yellow is all around. Like you would have like a former Jedi bounty hunter would have a yellow lightsaber.
Oh, here's something I just thought about. Okay, since we're on the subject of the quality of the lightsaber also indicating it. So, I feel like, so I know that like the unstable kyber crystal would generate a jagged red blade, but that's in the old canon. So, honestly, you can kind of rebuild it from there, and I feel like the unstable blade indicates a unstable relationship with the dark side. Ben doesn't want to be on the dark side, but he feels like it's the only path he has. He's unsure that he's redeemable. He wants to be told that he's redeemable.
Yeah, I think too. What I like, and this is something that I don't think maybe Abrams, maybe Abrams thought of this, but he's got the how they implemented the whole cross guard and that, and the serrated looking glow. With the like you were talking about with his saber, how it was about the instability, but it also gave him a more Templar type of sword, like you saw in the Crusades, which I think is, this is kind of reading in it a little too much, a little art student-y here, but I find that fascinating because throughout the movies, especially in The Last Jedi, we see him as this sort of like Sith crusader.
Yeah, and he's just mowing down opponents left and right.
He's a Sith crusader, and he sees himself as like on a righteous path. Like he's righteously justified in his actions based on how his parents and Luke and just society treated him. This is reading probably way more deeply than the creators intended, but that's what I see. You know what I mean? Like I see that connection, and that's why It's one of the reasons why I really like Kylo Ren as a character. As shitty as they did him, even though Adam Driver fucking fist bumped to that guy, he's great.
Damn, he was epic.
It's like I saw this meme with Ewan McGregor and it's the the scene in Predator where Schwarzenegger and Weathers do the fist clap thing with the big old fucking muscle meme. Two big things. They had one which was Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan, and the other was Adam Driver as Kylo Ren. And it was they said Obi-Wan, Kylo Ren, one bicep on each, and then the fist clap thing, it's carrying 3 movies on your back by yourself. Which he did, dude. I mean, not to shit on that, because obviously the returning cast, Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and Harrison Ford, they're going to be phenomenal because they're good actors. Not to shit on like Daisy Ridley and John Boyega, and especially plays Poe Dameron, Oscar Isaac. They're all good too. I think Oscar Isaac's fucking great.
Who does Oscar Isaac play?
Oscar Isaac is Poe.
Oh,
Poe Dameron.
Damn. No wonder people think he's gay.
Mm-hmm. Oscar Isaac is a pretty good actor, but Adam Driver I commend Adam Driver because Oscar Isaac was at least given a better script and like a more somewhat like sensical character. I feel like Kylo Ren as a character himself is a lot less like sensical, and Adam Driver, like I feel like Adam Driver did what we wish Hayden Christensen would have done with Anakin. Because while I do think Kylo Ren's a bit better of a written character, they're both kind of shitty written characters. And not that Hayden Christensen's a bad actor, but I think it shows how great Adam Driver is. He was able to take a shit character and make it something amazing. The same way that, a shit written character. Same way with Ewan McGregor and Obi-Wan. Or even like in just The Phantom Menace, Liam Neeson and Qui-Gon. Like they took like George Lucas's famously terrible writing, even in the first movie. Like there are interviews with Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher and the whole cast, Harrison Ford, Anthony Daniels, talking about like George, people don't talk that way. So
they had to give him make him have the realization that the world doesn't work the way he thinks it does. And some
just like
well, that was quite a tangent. I love it. I mean, it all connects. But yeah, I mean, you're right that Adam Driver he didn't just go a full cheese ball. I mean, I thought his character would have really called for us to go full cheese ball, but once you go full cheese ball, you can't ever come back from that.
Mm-hmm.